Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
Oh, what a way to introduce that.
And no one will ever hear it.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I'm right in the middle of texting. I apologize. Welcome to Off Air.
What a professional.
I'm sitting here getting updates and everything on stuff.
This guy's writing his manifesto over in the corner. Don't worry, I'll introduce you. That's Jake Underwood. He's the host of the show.
Hi.
The show is Off Air.
That's the show. It's Off Air.
I'm Style. I'm also here.
And
Off
yes,
air.
we do have Style. He's here off air. Can I tell you something?
Oh boy.
I'm really happy to be working with you at the other place.
That's a bold-faced lie.
No, for real. No, like genuinely. Like it is very cool because I know you and we've discussed numerous times that it was one of those like, dude, if we had a chance and if a station was willing to not give it all to us and give us all the responsibility, but kind of just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's
trust us.
Yeah.
You mean,
yeah. And just kind of be like, fuck it. Let's see what they could do. And we're kind of in a situation right now where they're letting us do that.
So I don't know. I think the last show we did, at least in the last batch we did, we talked about the fact that you had applied for a job where I work currently.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't for this job.
But it wasn't for the job you have now.
Correct.
An on-air position. It wasn't for an on-air position.
Yeah, no, it was behind the scenes. It was behind the scenes and basically like production guy.
Yeah.
Because I would have been able to do like the "you're listening to" type things.
Right.
That would have been cool. But
But things just so happened to work out that you got brought in for a hosting job, and now we work together, which is very wild. I thought about the other night.
Yeah, it's weird to me. I was leaving yesterday, and I hear, how was it worded? Oh, don't want to miss a moment of the Jake Underwood Show and your other favorite shows? Download the app today. And I was like, wow, okay, whoa, all right. I'm like, shit, okay, this is weird.
It's crazy when someone actually believes you can do the thing that you do.
Yeah, yeah. That's the weirdest thing.
I think I've talked about it here before.
It's kind of cool.
I
got to take my coat off, so go on.
Yeah, I love where we work now, which is wild. I've been there for 3 years. I just hit 3 years this past week, and I've always been very grateful to be treated the way I have there. I'm not saying I have a great time 100% of the time.
Well, that's because it's a Christian company.
But, I mean, when you're dealing with guys like Pete sometimes, it makes it a little hard.
Shout out, Tom.
There's a lot of Toms now, so you might need to specify. But, you can't specify. Well, we also work with a Tom, and there's Tom at the station.
Oh, yeah, no, it's none of the Toms at the station.
Yeah, so...
No, I'm talking
I'm just protecting you.
No, I'm talking about Tom. He has a crooked letter for his last name. It's a long one.
Yeah.
He sounds like a jackass, and he is.
Yeah. He doesn't like you.
Yeah.
But I've always been very fortunate at this job because I've any other studio I've worked, I've talked about this before, it's been very like, here's how you do it. Let me know if you need anything because we don't want you to go and touch things.
Well, I know you had 1,260 reasons to quit the first one.
At least, Some would say X, Y, and Z reasons to quit that station. But no, even at other stations, it was always that, like, don't touch my equipment.
Yeah.
Here's what you're allowed to use.
Right.
Come in, do your thing, leave. But, like, even when first week where we work now, it was like, yeah, no, we trust you. We hired you, so go ahead and do what you need to do.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
And my former boss, who's no longer there, like, I never had an issue with him because he was the same way. It was always, no, I know that you know what you're doing. Go in and do it. And like you said, we're in a weird period now where it seems like, more so than ever, they're looking at guys like you and me and just saying, well, yeah, let's actually make radio.
What's cool about it too is that our boss was a teacher of ours.
Yeah.
So he knows us well enough to be like, oh yeah, no, they know what they're doing. I know because I taught them.
So to break down the fourth wall a little bit, we had a company Christmas kind of luncheon thing.
I went in defensive.
I went in not knowing a single person who was going to be there, and I'm like, I've been there 3 years, and because I'm on the overnight, rarely interact with anyone on the business side of things. So I went in not knowing who the hell was going to be there, but like leaving, I was like, it's really cool the our because there's two tables pushed together for reference, right? And our end of the table is mainly the talent and producers. And so like sitting at that end of the table, it's really cool to look at you.
Yeah.
That we work with Seth Williams, that we work with Kenny Kidd.
Dude,
like it's a really cool collective.
So I came in defensive, and it took everything in me not to geek out a little bit and fanboy over Kenny Kidd because of how much I used to listen to him on Saturday nights.
I love Kenny.
Dude, and like when he starts talking, I'm like, all right, I gotta stay cool here because I will start fanboying a little bit. Because I listened to him when he was with Ken Carman, he was hilarious. When he was at night with Ken Carman, like a good portion of my radio listening time, Kenny Kidd was involved.
Hell yeah.
So to like be able to sit there and just like kind of bullshit with him, I'm like, and like I said, I came in with my guard up because of the way that some people had been acting and the crazy things that were going on online. So I just wasn't sure what was going to be said or how it was going to be said, and I came in like I was on full like
high defense.
Yeah, I was, and I wasn't going to come in hot, but I had the defensive mindset, and I was gonna nip it in the ass if anything was said.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I told the people that were there, I gave them the heads up. You know, if something is said, I'm gonna nip it right then and there. And they were like, understood. That's what I would expect you to do.
Jake understood.
Yeah, they're like, we know you. We know you well enough to know that would be exactly what happens. And I'm like, okay, as long as we all know. Like, I'm not doing it to be a dick. I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be seen that way. But if I got to nip it in the ass, I will.
Right. Well, I think I talked to you about this right after that because you and I worked a 14-hour day that day.
Yeah.
Because after the lunch at 11, I think I got there. I think it was at 11:30. I got there a little earlier.
Okay.
And then I stayed till 2 a.m. that night working on things.
Hey, at least you were clocked in.
So I made some good money that night.
Hell yeah, dude.
But no, so I worked like a 14-hour day, but we went to go shoot a commercial right after for the station, and I think I talked to you either while we were shooting or coming back or editing or something. But like, it's really cool to look at where we were 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh yeah,
and look at like, because I remember vividly, and I thought about it because of this group of people. When COVID, or like right before COVID, there were layoffs, not even just with iHeart, but across the board, it seemed, in radio.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit and that doubled. So like I remember being on air and talking to you and hearing like guys like Corey were let go and Java Joel were let go. And then we saw Kenny got let go. So like it's crazy to think how...
It's crazy to think we're just one cold away from losing our job.
That too. and I'm over here doing fuck all, saying Heineken and Michelob Ultra virus.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, it is weird. It's just the journey of it all. Because I was talking with Rob Bailey on the way.
Don't stop believing, you
know. Honestly though,
lights.
But yeah, just like going through the last like 4 years, and it's so weird when you ask for guidance and to prep you for the next step. If you're open to seeing everything as a learning lesson and what you can learn from it and carry with you to the next, like I can tell you how me working at iHeart the first time prepared me for the second time, prepared me for the campaign, prepared me for the legislation. Like I know how it did and how I could take. Except for Viacom, that was just a waste of time. But that was terrible.
Damn it, there goes our Viacom sponsorship.
Oh well, oh, too bad.
And imagine fucking off-air sponsored by Viacom.
No, I can't. But like I could see how every like little step prepared me for what I was about to go into next. And if you just have that mindset of being open and not being an arrogant prick all the time and just taking life as it comes and, you know, not screaming at your producers or people you work with or throwing computer monitors or, you know, glass mugs at windows or walls. You know, there's a certain level of like, you got to be humble. You have to be thankful that one, you're being put in this position, and two, that like it's, and I say it at the end of most of my shows when I'm like, hey, thank you for letting me in your cars or your homes, you know, playing me through your Google speaker, whatever it might be, because I really do like it's really cool to think like there are people that are like, oh, I can't wait to see what he's going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind. It really does. And it's such an honor to, because like I that's how I am with radio.
Mm-hmm.
So to know that there are like
there's still people that care.
Well, not only that, but like they care about what I am going to talk about.
Right.
And like, they're excited. Like somebody that works with my mom didn't know that I was her kid, but she knew that I was in radio and stuff. And he didn't know my last name. He assumed it was the same as my mom's. We have different last names.
Gotcha.
And he was like, so, does your son know this Jake Underwood? And she's like, yeah, that's my kid. And he's like, I try to call into his show every day. Like, he's great. Oh my, like, I couldn't tell you the last time I'd listened to AM radio, probably since Triv. And I hear that a lot.
That's cool.
And that's really cool. Is when like Ray Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Davis called Seth.
This is just the name drop episode, by the way.
It's not, but okay, scratch that. A former boss.
I'm leaving it in.
That's fine. Well, then look him up. He's a captain. He gives tours on Lake Erie. And if you find him and you book something with him, tell him, be like, hey, Jake Underwood and Jordan sent us, or Style, whatever.
I was going to say, no one's going to know that name.
He's not going to know either one of those,
fair.
but say Jake Underwood sent us, and he'll laugh, and he'll go, oh my God, I know Jake. Yeah, Jake's great. Jake's great. But he called Seth and was like, hey, I know you guys are only like 3 shows in, but like you guys have a really good show. Like it's very good. Even though like you guys go at each other, you go to break, you come right back, and you're laughing. Like, we need that right now. And I guess I didn't realize how much of a need there was. I knew that there was a need for it, but I didn't think. Like, the one lady called in, and it was really cool. And she's like, my morning since you started, my blood pressure's gone down. I'm laughing more, and I just, I'm in a better mood for my afternoon. That's kind of fucking cool to hear.
Right.
That. And I'm assuming she's not lying because she could have just not called in.
Yeah.
But that's really dope.
So this is something I've experienced, and I'm sure you have too. But being in radio, oftentimes when you meet someone who like knows you from radio or knows the station you're on, they want to talk about every aspect of that particular station.
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel very, I'm letting them down. Because there's only 24 hours in a day.
Right.
I'm there for maybe 8 to 10 of them.
Yeah.
Doing the shows that I work on.
Right.
I'm here doing shows and doing things behind the scene. And when I'm in the car, I'm listening to anything that I throw on. So it's not specifically the station that I'm on 24/7.
Right.
So like when people would say, hey, you work here. How do you like this show in the morning? How's this guy treat you? I'm like, I don't really know him and I don't really listen. So I don't know. I'm sorry. But again, it's that weird aspect of, because it's such a volatile market and job industry. It's
you don't say.
9 start and stop dates, Jake?
Yeah.
10?
Well, no. So just with the other company, it was 9.
Okay.
In total.
Yeah.
So including Viacom, the Dragway announcing job that I had, and then also the show that I did with the campaign, I'm at like 15.
Hell yeah.
Well, I don't know. Do we want to? Do we include the ones before the school?
We can include that, yeah.
Well,
you're on a calculator, a graphing calculator. Maybe.
I'm at 18.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I'm at 18.
But my point of this is,
even when I worked for the one there in Akron, I'm not going to say
careful.
it. But the one that you love.
Yeah, yeah, that's my boy. No, but my point is that as much as it is a volatile industry, and we've talked about this before, you want to see the people that you know and you're cool with do well, and you want to support their show even if you don't necessarily support the company.
Well, and the thing is, even people that you don't necessarily get along with, you don't want to see them get fired.
Well, right.
You don't want to see anything like that happen.
Right.
And I mean, anybody that would wish failure upon somebody who they don't know, I mean, it's kind of stupid, especially when you sit there and you say that you're all about local media, and then you hope that they fail because your friend doesn't work there anymore. Well, I shouldn't say work there anymore because that's not the case. They just don't have that time slot anymore. And because you're sad about it and that guy lied to you about who the person who's replacing them is, and this is all hypothetical, of course.
Of course, yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
So because that person went out and then lied, I would never wish failure even though that person lied because, and I've said it on air numerous times, I don't hate the person. I hate the actions of the person, but I do not hate the person.
I've noticed a trend in web traffic recently on the site.
Yeah.
And there's a good amount of web traffic to your about page and all your links. And I just hope that everyone who's going through that web traffic finds this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, it's good content for them. That's all.
Well, has it really?
Yeah, it has.
Okay.
No, for real, yeah, we've seen up.
Well, then you might want to put the jakeunderwoodshow.com on there.
I will.
Because that's published now. And have you seen it?
Your site?
Yeah.
Just when you sent the preview of it.
It's so basic.
Yeah.
Like I had the young people were at HQ today because I don't want to say their organization because there's stuff going on. But they were up there and they're like, this is really basic. And I go, do you know, can you find what you're looking for? Oh yeah, I can find it. I go, so then shut the fuck up.
Right.
I'm like, young and old. That's who I have to appease here. I want to make sure this is the easiest thing. You find out about me, you find out about the show, you find out where to listen. And I wrote some stuff. I am writing Substacks about this whole thing.
I saw you doing that. My point was,
yes.
Before your completely hypothetical tangent, of course.
Yeah, hypothetical.
Is I used to listen to you down the dial just because we were friends, and typically what you guys were talking about wasn't really things I was interested in. It'd be draft coverage or things like that. And I'm not a huge, and I remember specifically listening during basketball season. Yeah. And I can't stand basketball.
Right. Was I doing like post-game stuff?
It might have been post-game stuff.
Yeah.
You were a guest on a couple different shows, I believe, at one point.
Yeah, because my rule with post-game was always, if they won, I talk about it for an hour.
Right.
If they lose, I talk about it for a half an hour and then I move on.
Yeah. But I remember I'd tune in the car because I used to drive late at night for work too. So I'd listen to your post. It had to be post game because it was late at night. Yeah. So I listened to your post game and I'm like, I don't really care about the Cavs, but I want to hear you on the radio and I want to give you the listenership.
Right.
So it's really cool now in a time slot that I didn't necessarily listen to before to get in my car if I'm up early and hear you on the radio. And it's not the problem that both you and I have had with radio for so long of the same things being said every show, repeated, and you know what you're going to hear as soon as you turn in.
Right.
It clicked with me that I turned it on because I wanted to hear you and your show, but I kept listening to it and came to the realization of, oh man, it's cool to have fun radio again.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just politics, the show. It's not just this stance, the show.
Right.
Like, you guys talk about you can talk about politics or taxes, or you can talk about a fart joke if you want.
Right. Like you
said puckering buttholes the other day and it popped me in the car.
Buttholes puckering.
I'm driving into work and hearing you say that on the radio. I'm like, that's got to be a first.
Well, I'm just saying, like, because we were talking to a comedian. I'm like, some people get nervous. You'll get some buttholes puckering.
Yeah. Did your producer's butthole pucker?
He laughed. He gave a look. He was like, what the hell? And then he starts laughing. I'm like, am I not allowed to say that? Like, I don't think. Well, I don't know. Well, no, I could have said ass. Well, I couldn't say assholes puckering.
You can't say asshole.
Yeah,
you can say ass.
Yes, I can say ass, and I've said it a few times. I can say ass as long as nothing's coming out of it or going into it.
Right.
You could be pissed off, but you can't be pissed on.
See, and we've had this conversation. I don't let my hosts say piss.
Oh, see,
just because I've had people who don't know that.
Yeah.
And get mad about it.
Right.
And say, oh, the FCC is going to come down. So I'm like, I'm just not taking the chance. Piss is going out the door.
Yeah. So I've had the conversation with two of the people above us, and I go, what am I allowed to do? And both of them have said, why don't you ask forgiveness as opposed to permission? I went, got it. Good shit. That sounds good to me.
And that goes back into people having faith in doing the thing that you are a professional at doing.
Yeah, it was weird though, because that first show, like, I'm still getting into like radio mode. As weird as it sounds, because I'm so used to when I talk about stuff, I don't talk about my opinion.
Right.
I just try to break down the facts of it. And now I'm like, oh, well, people kind of want to hear my opinion. That's why they're tuning in.
And now is your job to be opinionated on things. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the one thing in particular you're involved in, so I'm not going to go like full deep into it, but like people, they would even call off air and they would not understand that you can't just go with this. Like, if you chop off the top of the iceberg, guess what, dummies? There's another 16 miles of iceberg underneath it. So you have to start chipping away at it, make it lighter so it starts to float. And then eventually it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way that has to work. And, oh, hold on. Stand by.
Oh, did you lose audio?
Hello? There it is.
You got your butthole puckering?
Hey, it was puckering. And, yeah, just, I want to, we just I'm trying to get that through to people. Like the way that it's going to work is you're going to need a 5-year plan that you just will. And I'm here to help. By the way, I don't know if you heard on Friday, I told people to call the governor's office.
Oh, really?
Tell them to sign a certain bill into law.
Very nice.
Yesterday afternoon, it was signed into law.
Very nice.
I'm not saying that we did that.
Right.
But we might have done that.
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you what,
awesome.
I'm going to take credit
I do know
for
what
it.
bill it is because I read it in the news, but that's awesome.
Yeah, I literally gave out the number. I said, this is how you do it. And Seth was the governor's office, and I was the person calling, and I told them how to go about it. I said, don't be mean, be nice, and just say, I think that these I gave them 2. The one was signed. I doubt the other one will be. But I'm like, these are the bills that I would like, the governor to support. If you could please do that. This is why for this one. This is why for this one.
Hell yeah.
And if you could do that and have an incredible day and Merry Christmas. And he's like, oh, well, thank you. I will pass that along. And I said, well, sounds good.
Killing him with kindness.
Right. And then we got into the discussion of, well, do they actually listen? They do. No, they do. And I think that's the problem is that everybody has that attitude of, well, do they actually listen? No, they do. Just people they don't call. Like if you get an email from your bill collector, you're not going to respond. I know, because this is what I'm going through right now. I haven't gotten paid yet. But when they call, I know they're calling.
Yeah.
I ignore it every time, but I know they're calling and it's there fresh in my mind. And it's the same thing with anyone. If you email somebody about getting a return, if they sent you the wrong thing, they don't care. It's going to take them 4 hours to respond. But if you call and they see it, they're like, oh shit, let me look at that email.
I will say,
yeah,
I think there's a time and place for the killing them with kindness.
Yeah.
So I have an ongoing issue apparently with my trash. I live in a township.
Okay.
The trash is the plan for trash pickup is decided through the township. So I pay my trash bill.
Do you mean like days? Like what do you mean by the plan?
So and I didn't know this until I lived here, but so like normally you would call your trash provider and say, hey, I live at this address. I want service enacted. They'd bill you and you'd get you'd pay for a trash can or a recycling can or both.
Right.
Because I live in a township, they have it set up for everybody in the township gets a trash can and a recycling can, and the bill is the same every month.
Okay.
And it's all subsidized through there, so it's a little bit cheaper.
So just to make sure I understand, so you're paying the township.
No.
And the township then pays the bill.
No.
Okay.
The township is paying for the trash service.
Okay.
So like they have a contract with this service that they are the only provider for this township.
Yes.
Because of that, our trash bills that we pay to the company, the trash company, are a little cheaper.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So
right.
it's just like a deal
Makes
that they have
sense.
worked out.
Okay.
But that deal is we get one provided trash can, one provided recycling can, and then we get unlimited amount. They call them carts.
Okay.
So it's just any other trash you throw out. So boxes, bags, if you have a trash can.
Honestly, though,
it's great. No,
that's a good fucking
it's
deal.
Fantastic.
That's a great deal.
And it's like $50 a month. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's really good.
If you have like mattresses or stuff, do you have to call and let them know?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like,
all right.
honestly, they're pretty lenient. I've just thrown beds out there without
That's
a call.
dope.
So
okay.
But
That's dope.
here's my issue I'm having.
Okay.
And 9 times I've had to talk to somebody. 9 as of last week.
Okay.
Of me, because I have my trash, my recycling, and I bought an extra smaller trash can.
Yes.
So I'll put it out there with my trash.
Okay.
And here's the issue I kept having. My trash and my recycling, my provided cans would be taken, and they'd leave my personal one. They just wouldn't take it, and it'd still be full.
Mm.
And after, it's been about a year.
Okay.
9 calls I've made of, hey, is there something I need to do? Because I didn't.
You haven't heard anything.
Well, so I every time I call them and I say, is there something that I'm missing? Like, because I was told that I could put out another can, I could put out bags, whatever, and they're not being taken. So what's the issue?
Yeah.
9 times I've called. 9 times they've told me, oh, no, here's what the plan is. You get unlimited. We'll have someone come around. I don't know why they're not taking it. Happened again this past week.
Okay.
So I said, Christmas is coming up. I want to make sure I have my cans empty.
Right.
So I call and I say, I don't know why this keeps happening. I've called. I'm sure you can look back at the history. Here's the plan that we have. You can verify it. I keep having this issue. My can was left again. I need someone to pick it up. I just at this point want to know why it keeps happening.
Yeah.
If there's something I need to send in, if there's an account issue, like what's the problem? And so the lady on customer service says, okay, well, let me look at your account. She looks at it and says, well, it says here you have 1 can and 1 recycling. I said, yep. And that's all you have. I'm like, that's not true because I've called before 8 prior times and this is what I've been told.
Yeah.
You can look at my account. You can ask, well, I'm looking at your account, and it doesn't say anything. At this point, I'm getting upset, and I say, all right, well, can you put me on with someone who can, like, look into this? Because if that's all you're going to tell me, it's not true.
Yeah.
Puts me on with someone in sales. Salesperson says, hey, what are you calling about? Explain it again. They say, yeah, let me look at your account real quick. It says here you have trash recycling and then unlimited carts. What's the issue? That's what I want to know. I keep having the same issue. So very sweet lady says, okay, yeah, I don't know why they're doing this. I see you've called 8 other times. I'm going to have someone come pick it up. We're going to put a reference number in. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
But that first lady I talked to was just, no, you're wrong. That's not what you have. I know what I have.
Yeah.
So, like, time and place, I was very upset with the first lady of blatantly just saying, well, you're wrong. That's not my plan.
Right.
Put me on with someone who knows what they're talking about. The second lady, new person, I'm not going to go in pissed off because they didn't know any of the prior conversation.
Right.
And it was taken care of in 20 minutes. So I think there's a time and a place for killing them with kindness.
Oh,
that
yeah.
first lady, no, she doesn't.
Well, no, you always start off with kindness.
When she starts telling me that I'm wrong, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. No, you always start off with kindness. I think the issue is, and I talked about it, how I came into the lunch. I came in hot.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you can't hate now.
The preceding program was a WSRR radio production.